Alright, this is going to be a 12 by 12 layout, and it's kind of snow themed, and I've got the sketch from That's About Sketches. I'm going to be using this one with these portrait 4 by 6, and I'm using photos from that are old that I've had in my stash. So like I said, it's going to be snow themed, somewhat. I'm going to put a couple snowflakes in. I have some Tim Holtz movers and shapers snowflakes. And I'm just going to cut them onto some white cardstock. I cut them onto white cardstock. And I'm going to do, I cut out 4, but I'm only going to end up using 3. Alright, so this is where I store all my papers, and it sits right underneath my desk. And it helps me keep my stash limited, because my papers can only fit into there. So I'm going to be pulling out my papers. I'm going to kind of show you kind of how I could pick out my papers and stuff. So I kind of look at my pictures and see what colors are in there. And I know I wanted to use, there's a little bit of yellow in these pictures. And so I wanted to kind of pull out that yellow, and there's some gray too. Because, these are snow pictures and it's a lot of white. And it's dark color, so I kind of wanted to have just a little pop of some other color. So I'm going to end up using yellow, blue, and gray. And here I'm just pulling out papers, and I kind of look to see how they would look against my pictures. And so yes, I'm pulling out papers. I'm just kind of looking and seeing how they look together and everything. So now I had to take a break from looking at all the papers because I wasn't sure. Things were just not working. So I wanted to take a break. So I'm going to lighten, or actually distress these snowflakes a little bit because they're just too white for those papers. And so I'm using the, I think, old paper, distressing. I'm just barely putting that ink on it just to give it a little bit, just to tone them down from the whiteness. So, and then I'm going to mist them with some Daughter Angel's Glimmer Mist. And I think it's the marshmallow again, because it just, or diamond, either marshmallow or diamond. That one just has to give us a little glimmer. Alright, now I'm going to come back to working on the layout, since I knew those snowflakes had to dry a little bit. And I just ripped off the branding strip, and here I'm looking at the papers. And I'm looking to see which ones would work. So I'm going to end up deciding to use this gray for photo mats. And you can kind of see probably that little snowflake there that I did. I was trying something with just misting and stuff, and it just wasn't working. So, but I still use this paper to make photo mats. So I'm going to make individual photo mats though too. And it's just some gray cardstock. So here I'm looking because I knew I wanted another color there. So I found this blue paper in my stuff. I think it came from a Studio Calico kit a while back, and I wasn't too thrilled about this side. I actually had it in my stash on the other side. The A or B, whatever side, the paper. But this blue actually made it pop because it was a subtle light blue. So I'm just going to use some Stays On Dove Gray ink to ink all the edges and the papers. And I'm inking, I should ink all the papers in this layout. Okay, so now I'm just going to lay it down. Oh, hold on. I was thinking about something, I guess. Washi tape. I pulled out some washi tape. It was just a gray striped washi tape because I wanted to have that balance down there at the bottom. Or not balance, I don't know what I'm thinking. So now I'm going to hole punch some circles to kind of back up behind those snowflakes, because those snowflakes are still kind of hard to see against that yellow and gray polka dot paper. So I just do 3 different ones, kind of do that triangle effect, and then I'm going to come back and now use a smaller punch. I think I used a 1.5 and a 1-inch punch. That's the small and medium sizes from the Fiskars collections. Okay, then I'm going to glue them down. I also inked all those edges, again with that Dove Gray Stays On ink. and just kind of getting a little layering here with the different clusters. And I'm going to pop dot the snowflakes with some tiny pop dots. And that was fun trying to get those little things out of these little holes because they're really, really tiny. So I'm just putting the 3 snowflakes in those little clusters. And that's about as snowy, themey as I get. Alright, so here I'm just cutting down this chipboard piece because I didn't really want that bicycle. I just wanted to enjoy the journey part of it with the faux washi tape, or in front of the faux washi tape. And so I'm just going to file the edges to kind of get rid of some of the rough edges of the cutting that I did. And I'm going to use my corner chomper to round the edges. I think I used the 1/4 size. Again, inking the edges of this chipboard piece. And now I'm going to be moving it around, placing. And I knew where I have it right now, and that's where I want the title. And I also wanted to use this little camera Polaroid that I had sitting on my desk that I was going to use in another project, and I didn't end up using it. So I'm just going to move them around, and I knew right there where they're at that it wasn't going to work because that's where my title was going to go. And I did not want Enjoy the Journey to be my title. So I'm just going to fiddle with it and move it around and think about where I want it, and think about where I want that Polaroid. So I'm going to end up putting it up here at the top, because I saw that it had a flow from that top left corner down to that bottom right corner where the title's going to be. And I should be gluing it down and peeling off the backing. Okay. And now I'm going to pull down this journaling card, and I'm inking it up with that old paper to kind of tone down the whiteness, but I'm going to end up changing it later on anyways. So I'm again inking the edges, and I'm going to glue it down because I needed to know where I could write for the journaling and stuff. I really shouldn't have because I'm going to change it anyways, but it was no big deal because it doesn't destroy anything. So anyways, now I'm going to, I had pulled out those letter stickers, but then I'm going to first put down these enamel dots from the yellow because I just felt like I needed some more embellishments. So I'm going to use that yellow and these yellow and blue enamel dots. And I think those I gotta get, oh no, maybe I don't think I got them in a Studio Cal kit. I don't know, can't remember. Anyways, and I'm going to pull out some more yellow washi tape just to put into these 2 clusters that don't have these 2 other clusters that just don't have much other embellishments to them. So anyways, you see that I pulled out my yellow zig pen because I thought about adding yellow. I'm going to use yellow to put in some journaling, but I'm going to later change it because it does not look right. And then also the gray pen that I'm going to be pulling out in a moment was not working correctly, or I don't know, something, it just was not working for me, and I'm not going to like how it turns out. And so I'm going to add my title, but then like I said, I'm going to change the journaling, which it wasn't that big of a deal having to pick up the title a little bit. And you'll see, I didn't video me redoing the journaling and stuff, but you'll see it in the pictures at the end how I changed it around. I just kind of basically turned that card upside down so that little blank area at the top was on the bottom, and did all the journaling in the gray pen. So now I'm just, like I said, I'm adding the title, and it's called Winter Park because that's where we were in Colorado. So I put them on the wax paper to make sure I had them lined up and where I wanted them. I'm just kind of tightly, loosely putting the letters in there because I needed them to fit in that certain area. And I didn't mind if they went a little bit over the picture, but I didn't want them to go all the way across. So that's how I'll be finishing it up with the title, and then I will, like I said, off this camera I changed the journaling around, but it's just flipping the card and not putting the yellow in. So thanks for watching. Bye.